Wait. North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo transit. If y'all are wondering what the shifts is going to be looking like, okay, from now until 2026, then you've come to the right place. I've been gone for a minute, you know what I'm saying? The girl's been healing from my, neck injury. Came into 2025 with a bang, gang. So now that I feel a little bit more better and my scars are starting to slowly heal and my body's starting to kind of be a little bit more, oh, my titties is out. Oh shit, hold on y'all. He said you can't be showing them for free. Hold up. Okay, there we go. Now that I feel a little bit better, I'm in a space right now where I'm like, okay, well, let me just kind of start dropping some things on the dime and talk about what it's going to be looking like for your personal rising sign. So if you, it's more accurate to your rising sign, but you can also look for your sun and moon if you would like. Now, definitely want to check out the website if you're interested in a personal reading, and also if you want to look into some courses that you can have downloaded for yourself. But other than that, we're just gonna go ahead and hop right into it. I will also be posting the rest of the series that we started with the astrocartography, North Node, and herbalism, root work astrology videos probably later on in February and into March. So y'all can definitely check that out. I think we stopped off at Leo, but we're going to continue that series on. And I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody's doing great with all the hoopla that's been going on in the world. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get it popping and get it started. So first off, we're going to start off with, well, if you don't know and you're just now coming to the video and you don't know, you can check out my previous video that I had. Is under my live tab when I went live and talked a little bit about North Node in Pisces and South Node in Virgo. And basically, long story short, we're talking about the spiritual access, okay? The spiritual world, the astral world, when we talk about this energy of Pisces and we talk about this energy of Virgo, okay? So that's what you can kind of be expecting here when we're talking about like daily, day-to-day routines, but also spiritual like ascendance. This is also this energy where we're really understanding what it's like. The first thing I got in my mind is to let go and let God. You know, this energy of like allowing things to just kind of fall into place versus trying to like fix or control the outcome. But it's also with the South Node of Virgo, it's about having this balance between the let go and let God, and then when you actually get the download to move on whatever it is that you need to do, and then following that. That's what we're looking at when we're looking at these two placements. So that's a little bit. If you want, like I said, if you want to know a little bit more about it, definitely go check my previous video under my live tab. Now, Aries, let's start off with you, what you'll be experiencing. This will be directly into your 12th house and your 6th house. 12th house being Pisces, 6th house being Virgo. So I feel like, honestly, there's going to be a lot of letting go in your day-to-day routines and the things that you got going on, you know, because 6th house is the Virgo house. It is the day-to-day routines. It is even, you know, your job, the things that you're doing like around the house. It also has to do with like your health and wellness. So if you've been struggling, especially just coming out of this South Node in Libra, North Node in Aries transit, if you've been like struggling with like your mental health, because I always look at Aries as the head, right? It's the you know, the body part that rules the head. So anything that has to do with pertaining to the head, whether that's your physical body as well too, because Aries is also the physical body, and Aries is the physical body, but it also has to do with the mental capacities of the mind, because the head is connected to the brain, or the brain is connected to the head. So maybe, you know, sussing out some like old traumas. Maybe you are, this time you're either gaining maybe somebody from a past life, like for counseling. It doesn't apply to you, but if it is, you know, maybe you get a new, you know, health practitioner or something like that that can help you, support you in your journey of healing. With the Pisces North Node, this can definitely see like dream traveling. You know, maybe you are finding more time alone too, because this axis has to do with isolation and or just being alone or having time and space to be alone. So maybe you find yourself, I don't know, traveling or moving to a new country, or wanting to go like to a health retreat across the country, or maybe in another place, or a foreign place that you've never been to before. You could see yourself doing this, especially with the South Node or the North Node in Pisces here. I said unprocessing traumas, also the subconscious and like past life energy that maybe, because 12th house has to do with, it's the Pisces house, and it has to do with the subconscious and also like past lives. So maybe there's like some clearing that you're doing, in this lifetime, and maybe stuff that comes up. If you feel like, Aries, that things feel, if you feel like things feel like, dang, have I done this before? Or have I been here before? Or whatever the case may be, it's probably because you have. You might experience some like deja vu in this time period. So definitely want to check out for that as well. Your spiritual abilities also too might be heightening at this time. You might feel yourself a little bit more sensitive than usual. Your sensitivities might be high. And when I talk about sensitivities, I'm not just talking about like, a lot of people think sensitive is like, weakness or crying or things like that. But sensitivity, I'm meaning like, no, you're picking up on things around you, and they might essentially subconsciously trigger you. So you just want to be careful with your like immediate environment and the things that you're around and the people that you're around and things like that, to just make sure you're checking in with yourself to say, is this me or is this you or is this y'all? You know what I'm saying? So definitely check out for that as well. You can also be releasing old habits that could be releasing old habits, and then leaning into work, like day-to-day things that kind of keep you not necessarily busy, but things that make you feel like productive in a way. I feel like a lot of Aries risings are going to be working towards or building something, especially when it comes to their physical body, because you're going to be releasing a lot of things in that 6th house. So maybe you're replacing it with, like, for example, like a new health regimen, or you're coming up on a new cycle of like your subconscious and the things that you're doing on a day-to-day state. So that's for that. I am going to be marking these because I know y'all been asking for me to mark my timestamps and stuff. So Taurus rising 7:40. Okay, start. Okay, Taurus rising. And also, again, if y'all want to know more about your own personal chart, these are just general, but if you want to know more about your own personal chart, you can definitely book that personal reading. Okay, for Taurus rising, we have Pisces in the 11th house and Virgo in the 5th house. We're going to be letting go here. 11th house has to do with like groups, organizations, associations, long-term goals, dreams, things, and making those things actualize. And then you have the 5th house, which has to do, is the Leo house. 11th house is the Aquarius house. 5th house is the Leo house. So this can have to do with like children. This can do with romantic relationships, like meeting at the bar, romantic relationships, flirtatious things, stuff like that. This can have to do with like your creative projects or creative abilities. This has to do with fertility as well too, whether that's physical fertility of like actually getting pregnant, or maybe releasing ideals about pregnancy, or a birth of something, like a creative project and things like that. You can also see here too. And this also has to do with larger pets. Virgo 6th house is smaller pets. So if you have an animal or a pet or something like that for the Taurus rising as well here too. I feel like there's going to be this sense with Taurus rising as to like really reevaluating to me, like your whole goals, life, purpose, things like that. Things might have been coming a little bit too mundane on the home front. So maybe you're starting to think of ways that you can kind of switch things up and start to like really care for yourself in a personal way, a more personable way, especially if things have felt like very routine and things like that for you. You could start to be like, I kind of want to switch things up a little bit. I need a little bit more variety. I'm kind of tired of doing the same things over and over again. And I know Virgo's not in the 6th house here, but with Virgo in the 5th house, it can sometimes feel like things are a little bit more like routine, And Taurus usually goes for consistency. a lot of times. So to break out of that consistent kind of day-to-day thing can be a lot for Taurus anyway. So that's maybe something that you can be doing here. You could be letting go of a group or organization that you are connected to. So this could be a lot of transitions at the workplace or whatever it is that you do for work. You could be kind of undergoing like a switch, you know what I'm saying? That could be kind of shifting and changing and stuff like that. You could also be realigning with the vision, like I said, that you have for life, like overall, especially with everything going on in the world. You know, I often look at Pisces as the energy is kind of like Gemini, but water. It's very unpredictable. So you don't really know what's going to happen. You don't really know what's going to go on. So there's like this level of trust that needs to happen. And you know, it's interesting because I'm going to talk about this on another video because then I'm going to go on a tangent. I don't want to do that to y'all. So we going to chill. You could also be going back to an old creative hobby or project as well. You can be opening up spiritual gifts as well. So you definitely want to pay attention to your dreams because there might be a recalling of gifts or abilities that maybe you had in the past that you weren't aware of. And when I say past, I mean like a past life that you're like opening yourself up to. And you may want to be a little bit more or coming into more like humanitarian pursuits. You can definitely see that as well here. The needing or caring for, or you know, wanting to care for other people, but also needing to take care of yourself as well here too with Pisces in the 11th house. Needing to take care of yourself. This whole axis is like really a need for like true isolation. Isolation meaning like you have time for yourself to figure out your needs and wants and desires, you know, as we move into these new chapters, okay? So that's what I'm getting for Taurus rising. Now we have a Gemini rising. We have Pisces in the 10th house and Virgo in the 4th house. You could see yourself wanting to get more in alignment with your overall purpose here, okay? You know, Pisces in the 10th house and then Gemini, being a Gemini rising naturally, I just look at this as like overall seer energy as well. Like you already have Virgo in the 4th house. When I mean seer energy, I mean like you might have some hidden gifts and abilities, especially when it comes to like communicating through spirit or communicating through source and ability, or having these innate abilities that you need to like cultivate. And these things could be coming to light in this particular time while this North Node to South Node transit with Pisces and Virgo. You can also feel like you're being called to maybe leave home, or leave maybe like a version of home that you've been a part of. I want to say this. You could even be moving. You could even be like moving to a new place or moving to another place or something like that that makes you feel a little bit more, I would say, in alignment. You know, I feel like from service, like military service. I'm having so many downloads just talking about this right now. That's why I'm like kind of like all over the place right now. Yeah, Virgo has to do with service. And so any kind of service. So military, nursing, healing, caretaking, things like that, you know, acts of service or whatever. So you could kind of be moving away from that, or like I said, physically moving. You could be even seeking healing, especially when it comes to like your familial ties, your lineage, your roots and things. Letting go of childhood traumas. There could be a lot of issues, or addressing issues in relation to the mother figure or even women in the family, because 4th house definitely rules women, or specifically the mother, your roots, and past lives and things like that. So a lot of those things could also be coming up. And I also want to say secrets. I know this is not the 8th house, but there could also be secrets that kind of unveil themselves from that 4th house of home and family and things like that. And that could be like, maybe it's a platform, you know, with the 10th house there, like the public eye and public figure. It's like the Capricorn house, and you're sharing these things with other people to help them also heal too. So you could definitely see that with Gemini rising here. Now, when it comes to Cancer rising, Okay. We have, I'm writing these down, y'all, as you see. So just let you know, so y'all have timestamps and stuff. With Cancer rising, we have the ninth house of the North Node going into the ninth house, and then we have Virgo going into South Node going into the third house. Ninth house has to do with like foreign travel, you know, long distances, foreign trade, foreign currency, new languages, faith, belief systems, higher education, all those things. The Sagittarius house. Meanwhile, while the South Node is transiting that third house, and it has to do with the Gemini house of like communication, short distance travel, your neighborhood, day-to-day things that you're doing, your speaking voice, writing, any forms of communication is also here as well too, and just the neighborhood. So another one that could be moving around is Cancer rising. You could be moving in this time. You know, you could be letting go of old ways in which you used to communicate, you know, with this Cancer rising energy. You feel me? So, you know, you're moving, maybe you move abroad, you go somewhere, you know, that has some water. You go moving. If you're not physically moving, maybe you're starting to go to like healing retreats, or maybe you're starting to learn a new language, which I don't mean just like a language from another country, but, you know, maybe you're decoding and learning a new language. Maybe you're changing and switching up your belief system. Maybe you were, for example, maybe you know, Christianity held you down. For example, Christianity held you down as a, you know, when you were young, and now you're starting to explore other ways of, in other belief systems and things like that. You can definitely see this here. You can also see, moving out of an old neighborhood. Like I said, I think I might have said that before. I'm not sure if I did, but moving out of an old neighborhood, or moving away from like a familial place or familial home. You can also see this here too with the third house, South Node, third house, Virgo here as well too. You could also be having some communication shifts, because third house also has to do with your siblings, and it also has to do with your, like, you know, brothers, sisters, uncles, relatives, and things like that. So maybe there's some shifts that are happening there, whether you're releasing some people, okay, or you can be maybe reconnecting with some people from the past. Because Virgo, I would say Virgo, South Node isn't just about completely letting go of things. Sometimes you can also be revisiting those things that maybe you once held dearly to you. You feel me? So that's something that you can see here with the South Node and North Node, Pisces, Virgo. Now we're going to move on to Leo rising. Okay, I'm writing these things down for y'all, little timestamps here. We have Pisces in the 8th house. Okay, North Node and Pisces in the 8th house. That is the Scorpio house. Meanwhile, 2nd house, Virgo will be transiting to is the Taurus house. This has to do with resources. This has to do with money. This has to do with your value systems. This has to do with intimacy, this access particularly. This has to do with inheritance, and it doesn't have to be inheritance of money. This can be inheritance of actual abilities, but it also can be money and things like that. Your personal values are changing. You know, the ways in which you're looking at yourself, the way in which that you see yourself, your worth, you know, that's completely doing a complete 360, 180, okay? You know, you might start to even see yourself in a place where, you know, you want to, the way that you, I'm sorry, y'all, my back, my neck, my back, my neck and my back. You might start to see yourself in a place where, you know, you're having this dark night of the soul moment. You know what I'm saying? And I know you're probably tired of having these dark night of the soul moments, especially because you have that, you know, Scorpio energy in that 4th house. But it's something, or I'm sorry, not Scorpio energy in the 4th. What am I saying? Scorpio energy in the 4th house. You might be like, I'm tired of doing this, Grandpa. I'm tired of doing this dark night of the soul shit. Like, I really want to, you know, ascend and elevate. And you are, but you have to go through this transition first. So Pisces is going to drag that ass. Virgo is going to drag that ass here with helping you to reevaluate in the best ways though. I mean, I guess there's no best way to drag somebody, but it's going to help you ascend. It's going to help you elevate into something different and new. I promise y'all I have something on under this. It's hot. It's hot. Okay. As I was saying, resources, material matters. There might be even things that you're letting go of. There might be certain objects and things that you are letting go of that you want to, you're like, I've been having this for so long. I want to release it. I want to give it away. And just making room for other things to kind of come into your world, into your life. And even when it comes to like intimacy, it doesn't have to be necessarily sexual. It can be sexual. But this can also be just like intimacy that you're experiencing with yourself. And if you are experiencing it with another person, I don't know, this is a spiritual experience, because Pisces in the 8th house is a spiritual connection, a spiritual bond to the things that you have. This could also bring out secrets too. 8th house is hidden. So this could be some secrets or some things maybe that were hidden in the past that start to kind of funnel out. And you're like, wait a minute. I didn't know this now. I didn't know this then, but now I know. You know what I'm saying? So those things could also be happening with this energy here as well. Let me see. Let's go to Virgo rising. And we are at 21:31. With Virgo rising, we have Pisces in the 7th house, Virgo in the 1st house. So this is going to be, honestly, especially with the South Node on it, this is going to have to do with your relationships and yourself. 7th house is the Libra house of relationships, and 1st house is the Aries house of the self. So you could be going through some physical body changes. You know what I'm saying? There could also be certain karmic relationships that step into your life at this time. Okay, with the North Node here. I would even say new relationships, but it could feel like you maybe met these people in a past life kind of energy. I know it's not South Node energy, but with it opposing each other, these energies opposing each other, you're like, have I met you before? Have we? Same thing for Pisces rising. Have we met before? I'm not sure. Maybe we have. I don't know. So physical body changes. You definitely want to be careful of your health, especially like your mental health, especially with Mercury in the South Node. Mercury ruling over Virgo and Gemini, and like mentally and things like that. So you want to make sure that you're doing things to alleviate your mental capacities and your mind and things like that. You want to be careful with, I would say, you definitely want to lean on people during this time when it comes to having like physical support, when it comes to having like people to lean on. You might need people to like support you. And with 7th house Pisces energy, you can definitely meet like healing practitioners or people who have like a certain level of healing abilities that you can go to kind of help you and support you on your journey and things like that as well. So you definitely want to watch out, or I would say watch out for that and keep noticing that. I'm not saying that everybody you are meant to connect with on a spiritual sense or on a spiritual tip or for healing purposes, but what I am saying is you might just find people that are a little bit more in alignment with what you need at this given time. Now, when it comes to you, before I go on to the next thing, real quick, I just want to say this. You need to find the balance between taking care of other people and yourself. And this transit is going to show you that, Virgo rising, okay? You got to take off the rose-colored glasses in this specific time and use your discernment. It's okay to say no. You do not have to be a support for everybody else. So take care of yourself. I know the South Node is there, so you're releasing certain things on the physical. But when it comes in relation to other people, while you're doing this releasing, you're going to be in a very vulnerable place at this time. So just be wary of how much is give and take, okay? I just want to put that out there for you. All right. Now, when we get to Libra rising, 24, 42. When we get to Libra rising, okay, this is where we're talking about Pisces going and transiting through your 6th house and Virgo transiting through your 12th house, okay? The 6th house is the Virgo house, so it's opposite of each other. These transits are opposite of each other. So it's what you're doing on your day-to-day routine. And then it's your day-to-day routine. It is your smaller pets and animals. It is your job that you're working on a day-to-day basis. It is the, this is the alchemy house. 6 houses before you get to the top of the chart, 7 through 12. This is how you alchemize on a day-to-day basis, what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. And so I feel like with the North Node transiting your 6th house, you'll start to find that you're getting back into maybe some physical or spirituality. You could be tapping deeper. You could be tapping a little bit deeper into, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm feeling this energy while I'm talking about this energy. It's literally like, Pisces, you wanna ground. You wanna definitely ground your energy, ground yourself within this energy, because you could feel like, especially with the North Node here, you could just probably feel like things are all over the place. And there's nothing wrong with having variety, not at all. I think you should have a little bit of variety, but I think because maybe your spiritual abilities, especially with the North Node moving through this house, are a little bit more heightened. You're gonna need the time and space to like really, I'm just seeing somebody put their feet to the ground, like really, or in the soil, like really ground yourself and ground your energy as these things are coming. You might even have very intense dreams at this time, very intense premonitions, even downloads, even you can have with the North Node transiting through this house. You're just going to be a little bit more sensitive than usual. So you just want to make sure that you are taking the time and space to have to yourself in order to allow this energy to transmute to. Especially with the South Node transiting through that 12th house as well too. Dreams can be very intense, so, if you can go on some type of healing retreat, you could take time to like, have moments of peace to yourself where you're not having to really do too much. You're writing, journaling and things like that. Maybe you're getting into some type of creative hobby. You have some type of creative abilities and things like that you want to get into. I would definitely recommend those things here, any type of healing modalities. And maybe you need a little bit more variety too in your life. So this is going to be ushering in that specifically for you. Now, when we get to Scorpio rising, Mystic Market. Oh, so nice. Let me see. Scorpio rising. I'm sorry, y'all. I just got a text. 43. Okay, Scorpio rising. All right, this is going to be Pisces is moving through, North Node of Pisces is moving through your 5th house, and then the South Node is moving through that 11th house, okay? So things could be hot and romantic for you, Scorpio rising, with the North Node moving through your 5th house, or you could be feeling very much so creative at this time. I'm getting a loud ringing in my ear, okay? You can feel very creative at this time with the North Node moving through this energy. Like you want to really express yourself creatively, explore. It's the 5th house, it's the Leo house, it's a romantic house. So, this energy could be, especially, and then also too with the South Node transiting the 11th house, there could be the Aquarius house. You could be releasing like an old friend group, because 11th house has to do with friendship groups. It has to do with organizations that you're connected to. It has to do with like your dreams, your goals, hopes, wishes, and things like that. So maybe you're kind of reevaluating all of that, and then maybe like that inner child is coming out to play a little bit. Also, we get back to the spiritual abilities. Maybe you're tapping in a little bit deeper. Maybe you're learning a new subject or a new study, and you're really like going to be allowing yourself to be into it. And I would just say, just allow your intuition to guide you into what it is that you want to do. Like, you don't feel like you need to force yourself into something. Allow your intuition to kind of guide you into like that next step, and be like, shit, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to create? And just as you get those downloads, just hop into those things and create. I will say this also too. I did not mention this for Pisces, but it does, especially within this house, because 5th house is also gambling and risk taking and things like that. I'm not saying not to take risks, but you could just be wanting to kind of throw stuff all on the line and gamble. It also has to do with escapism as well, Pisces, this energy. And so you could find yourself wanting to maybe like drink or, you know, maybe like alcohol and things like that. It's just escapism. And escapism doesn't have to be alcohol or drugs. It can also be like escapism in the phone, or escapism in like video games, whatever the case may be. This energy is going to like kind of push this to the limit a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So just be careful not to go all the way on the deep end when it comes to that. You feel me? So like, just kind of, you know, keep it in balance. I would say fuel that energy into something really creative, because it can really, like, I don't know if you sing, I don't know if you perform, I don't know if you like to draw or like to paint or whatever it is that you do. You know, like I said, you want to learn like something new spiritually or something like that. This is definitely going to be a good time specifically for that. Okay, now we're going to get into, right in this time, still down, Sag rising. Sag rising. You have Pisces, North Node in Pisces in the 4th house, which is the home house, is the Cancer house of home, family, roots, the relationship to your mother, past lives. And then you have the South Node transiting your 10th house, which is the public figure status, your legacy. Also, we can see this as your career, but specifically your legacy and the things that you want to leave behind. All this is being reevaluated. You know, Pisces likes to also skip, jump in a hurry, so you could be moving at this time as well too. Maybe you're doing spiritual work from home as well too. There's going to be a lot of working in the home. There's going to be a lot, and I'm not just talking about like, yeah, it's going to be a lot of, there might be even a little superstitious things going around, like a little bit more active things happen around the home and the house. Definitely be mindful about water and piping situations as well here too. I'm getting that download as well with this Pisces energy, you know, transiting the 4th house here. You could be exploring deeper into your spiritual roots. I'm really like holding my foot right now, so maybe it's time to get, because Pisces rules the feet, maybe it's time to get like a foot massage so you can move that energy up out of your feet. So maybe taking some time to do like spiritual baths, specifically focus on the feet here. Okay, making your home your sanctuary space, making your home your safe space here with the Sag rising energy here. Yeah. And needing for grounding, and there's going to be some type of ending when it comes to your maybe what you're doing for work or your public standing. Maybe you kind of go ghost a little bit as well too, or if you don't go ghost, you're probably going to be maybe rising to the occasion of something that you did in your past life, especially when it has to do with some type of healing situation abilities or service work as well, or service here as well too. It's so funny. Somebody just commented while I'm talking about this Sag rising energy on here. That's crazy. Anyway, now we're gonna go ahead and go to Capricorn energy here. We have Pisces going through the 8th house, North Node in Pisces, which is the Scorpio house. The Scorpio house that has to do with deep transformation, other people's money, inheritances. It has to do with contracts, physical contracts, and also spiritual contracts as well here too. And then, oh wait, I'm sorry. That's not the 8th house. It's the 3rd house and the 9th house. I got backtracked. This is going to be happening for you in the 3rd house. Pisces in the 3rd house, Virgo in the 9th house. This has to do with all forms of communication. It is the Gemini house. So communicating, short distance travel, neighborhoods, and situations that you are transiting and through. I feel like a lot of Capricorn risings are going to be either moving home. I'm seeing Capricorn risings like writing a lot. So maybe you're writing like a book, or you're writing in your journals. I'm not saying, like, I do definitely feel like maybe you have like a lot of creative projects that you're getting yourself into, but this feels to me like a lot of journaling and writing and things like that. Like, this feels very much so writing, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I just went into like a whole, like, I'm seeing somebody, I'm seeing somebody that's like dream journaling. I'm seeing somebody that is like visualizing and painting, but not like necessarily a vision board. Like I'm seeing somebody having a vision of like a painting in their mind or some type of scene in their mind, and then they're like painting it out. I don't know. It's such a very interesting energy here with it. So many downloads, dreams, heightened spiritual abilities here. You could be getting into a new study. You could be leaving like some type of study, especially with Virgo in the 9th house. Maybe you were, I don't know, taking some type of course, and maybe you're coming into the completion of that course at this point in time. Or maybe you are picking up a new belief system or something like that. You're letting go of a belief system to replace it with something else. You know, the way you think, the way you communicate is going to be different with the North Node transiting here. You could also be getting a lot of spiritual and downloads as well here too. There could be something with siblings, because 3rd house has to do with siblings and relatives. So there could be some things happening around the sibling and relatives. Maybe somebody's having like a baby, or I don't know. It's a lot going on. I would just say, especially like on your day-to-day, definitely ground yourself here. Be careful and aware of like escapism with Pisces in the North Node here. Like, you know, things that have to do with wanting to escape. That is going to be an all-time high while this transit is going on. So just be wary of that. Now, Aquarius rising. Okay. We have, Aquarius rising. What are my personal values, says Aquarius rising, with Pisces going through the 2nd house and Virgo being in the 8th house. Okay, this is the Taurus and Scorpio axis. This has to do with other people's money. You know, this has to do with inheritances. It has to do with spiritual abilities. This has to do with your value system, the things that you own as well too, like physical values, personal values, you know, how you see yourself, things that you're also putting into your body or you're ingesting or taking in, 2nd house, okay, on a day-to-day basis as well, and how you're speaking as well, because it's the throat. In contracts as well here too. I feel like there could be a karmic contract, a spiritual karmic contract, especially because your Pluto is going through that 1st house as well. It could be some contracts that are ending at this time, you know. Like I said, physically and spiritually that you're giving up. There could be some, you know, I don't know why I'm getting this, but I'm hearing like sexual shame. Take this if it applies, but there's some like type of either sexual shame or like intimacy issues that are connected to your emotions that maybe that you're letting go at this time, that you're trying to like reevaluate or revitalize and things like that. Yeah, definitely. Maybe there's also an inheritance of gifts coming through, whether that's money or that just has to do with like maybe some inheritances that are coming in from like gifts and abilities that you're coming into. So definitely take that time to ground your energy and ground yourself at this time. You want to allow things to come to you, okay? You want to allow things to, you know, even though we're not talking about necessarily, well, we are talking about Venus energy, Venusian energy. 2nd house is ruled, it's the Venus house, it's the Taurus house. So if things feel like you're having to like really strife, and it's probably because it's not for you. You want things to like, Pisces is going to help things not naturally come to you, and then Virgo is going to help you put those things into motion. And so you could be getting very creative and allowing more to like come to you instead of feeling like you have to do like, you know, really get to it in order for things to come to you. You know what I mean? You need to balance this energy of ease and do, you know? So that's definitely something that you can see here. Like I said, if y'all want more personal readings, you can definitely hit me up for those personals as well too. So let me see. Pisces rising. What's up, Pisces rising? How we doing? Okay. We have the 1st house transit with the North Node in Pisces. And then we have the South Node in Virgo for the 7th house. Okay. So there's going to be a lot of changes to the self. All right. You know, I myself as a Pisces rising, I'm already going through a lot of physical changes. I'm not saying everybody's going through this crazy stuff, but I came in literally 4 days after the North Node went into the North Node in Pisces with a bang. Obviously, you can see my neck. But everything else is changing. You know what I'm saying? Like physically, you know, I'm starting to kind of like expand and grow a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I got a little bit more, you know, dump in the trunk. You know, my hair is getting longer. I'm starting to like, you know, especially while we have Saturn here for on our ascendant for a little bit, you know, we're starting to, I know that the Saturn wisdom is starting to make me feel a little bit older. You know what I'm saying? You know, we ain't no, like, we still have a young bull spirit, but we ain't young bulls no more. You feel me? Like, now, if you're a little Pisces, it's different, but Saturn is on our ascendant right now. So if you feel a little bit older at the moment, you know, just know that Saturn is there. So you might be feeling that. But there's going to be a lot of physical changes to the self, the way that you're taking care of your body, the way that you're seeing relationships. You might find yourself wanting to be a little bit more solo this year versus like actively seeking or wanting to be in relationship and things like that. You might find yourself being like, you know what, actually, I think I kind of want to chill for right now. You know what I'm saying? Or you might be meeting, you know, and being into some type of like karmic relationship with somebody that you knew in a past life and things like that, and y'all really hit it off and connect and things like that. So you could see that there could be marriages that are happening as well too, or just, like I said, old relationships that are coming back up and stuff. Like, you could see really finding yourself and finding out and asking yourself the questions like, who am I? You know, because Pisces essentially, even though it's Jupiter ruled, is also Neptune ruled. And we still have Neptune in Pisces until the spring, basically, when it moves into Aries. So there's just been this little fog around, like, you know, it goes back and forth, because Saturn at one point is like, okay, I know who I am, but then Neptune is there, so it's like, but who am I really? You know what I'm saying? Like, who am I in this? Like, you know, and I look at it for real, honestly, because Pisces rising, we've been so many people in multiple lifetimes. We've lived multiple lifetimes. Like Pisces and I'll say Aquarius. Pisces and Aries are the rarest rising signs because there's only like a little window of opportunity to get to it. So you literally, like, we've literally been multiple people, right? So, you know, maybe you are channeling these multiple, you know, versions of yourself, and you're really trying to find it in yourself of like, okay, well, let's explore, let's experiment, let's see, like, what am I into now? What are some of the things that I like? You're reevaluating your relationships and your maybe who you were to those relationships, and asking yourself if these are things that you want to continue on with. Are these some things that you want to let go of? You know, so definitely. And you also want to, at this time, really observe, you know, relationships that come into your life at this time, because they can be giving you some insight to yourself, and also the types of relationships that you want to bring in this new cycle as you are taking this time to yourself. Okay, so that is what I have for y'all. I know that we're like kind of short, sweet, and to the point. I didn't want to make it long because I already made that last video really long. Like I said before, the end of February, we're going to start dropping those videos, those other videos that we had from the what's it called, astrocartography. It's hot, y'all. That's why I'm like down there out of breath. Astrocartography, North Node and South Node, and also the herbalism, root work astrology. Those videos are going to be dropping again, so you can definitely check those out. I'm also this year going to be working on more. I know I was doing like a lot more writing and things like that, and journals that y'all can have, but I'm going to be focused on doing a lot more video work. So if you're interested in learning astrology and other types of astrology that you don't see on here, I'm also going to have videos where I'm actually talking about other things that maybe I don't talk about directly on the channel that are also going to be available. And I'm in the process right now of some of the videos that I've done in the past, like kind of putting them together or just individually, so y'all can actually have those videos forever. Because if anything ever happens to YouTube when we move to another platform, I don't want those things to be lost. And I know y'all want me saved in y'all's computers and laptops, so like, come through, you feel me? So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this thing on up. Like I said, you can definitely see me in the future now that I'm feeling a little bit more better. I still got a little bit of pain in my upper body, a little bit, but for the most part, I'm able to do what I gotta do, you know what I'm saying, and what I want to do. And I love talking about astrology and teaching this and learning. So, you know, if y'all have any suggestions of things that you might want to learn in the future, definitely leave a comment down below. Leave a comment down in general, because I love reading y'all's comments and things like that. And how this transit has been for you, please let me know. I would love to hear all about it in the comment section below. And how the last transit was, the Aries and Libra access was for you and things like that. So, you know, definitely leave that down below, and personal readings linked down below, and y'all know what it is. Let's go. Deuces.